Our story for all ages this morning is called The 10th Good Thing About Barney by Judith Bjorst. And to tell the story, I have with me a little cat named Pixel. Pixel is a stray cat. This guy is just 6 months old, and my son Matthew rescued him from the alley behind our house. And this afternoon, actually, he goes to his forever home, a friend here in Hyde Park. So he's been with us for these last 2 weeks. He's going to help tell the story this morning. You ready? This is a big on-camera break for Pixel. My cat Barney died last Friday, the story starts. My cat Barney died last Friday, and I was very sad. I cried, and I didn't watch a show. I cried, and I didn't eat my chicken or even the chocolate pudding. I cried, and I went to bed. My mother sat down on the bed, and she gave me a hug. She said we could have a funeral for Barney in the morning. She said I should think of 10 good things about Barney so I could tell them at the funeral. I thought and I thought and I thought of good things about Barney. I thought of 9 good things, and then I fell asleep. In the morning, my mother wrapped Barney in a yellow scarf. My father buried Barney in the ground by a tree in the yard. Annie, my friend from next door, came over with flowers, and I told the good things about Barney. Barney was brave, I said. Barney was smart and funny and clean. And he was cuddly like you, Pixel. And he was handsome, and he only once ate a bird. We don't know how many times Pixel's eaten a bird. It was sweet, I said. It was sweet to hear him purr in my ear. And sometimes he slept on my belly and kept me warm. Those are all good things, said my mother. But I just count 9. I said I would try to think of a 10th one later. Then Annie and I went into the kitchen with my mother. My mother gave us orangeade and butter cookies and left the box on the table so we could have seconds. I gave my seconds to Annie. I miss Barney, I said. Annie said Barney was in heaven with lots of cats and angels drinking cream and eating cans of tuna. I said Barney was in the ground. Heaven, said Annie. Heaven, so there. The ground, I told her. The ground, you don't know anything. My father came in from the yard and took a cookie. Big Mouth Annie said heaven again. I said the ground. Tell her who's right, I asked my father. She doesn't know anything. Maybe Barney's in heaven, said my father. Aha, said Annie and stuck her tongue out at me. And maybe, said my father, Barney isn't. What did I tell you? I said, and yanked Annie's braid. Father made me let go. We don't know too much about heaven, he told Annie. We can't be absolutely sure it's there. But if it is, said Annie in her absolutely sure voice, it's bound to have room for Barney. It's bound to have room for Barney and tuna and cream. She finished another cookie and went back home. My father told me he had to work in the garden. I said I would help a little, but only a little. I told him I didn't like it that Barney was dead. My father said, why should I like it? It's sad, he said. Sad. He told me it might not feel so sad tomorrow. My father had a little packet of brown seeds, shook some out in his hand. The ground will give them food and a place to live, he said. And soon they'll grow a stem and some leaves and flowers. I squeezed the packet open and looked in the bottom. I told him, I don't see any leaves and I don't see any flowers. Things change in the ground, my father said. In the ground, everything changes. Will Barney change too? I asked him. Oh yes, said my father. He'll change until he's part of the ground in the garden. And then, I asked, will he help make flowers and leaves? He will, said my father. He'll help grow the flowers, and he'll help grow that tree and some grass. You know, he said, that's a pretty nice job for a cat. My father and I planted all the seeds in the garden. And then we ate sandwiches together under the tree for lunch. After lunch, we worked in the garden some more. At night, I still didn't want to watch a show. When I turned out the light, my mother sat down on my bed. She gave me a hug, and I said I had something to tell her. Listen, I said, and I told her the good things about Barney. Barney was brave, I said, and smart and funny and clean, also cuddly and handsome, and he only once ate a bird. It was sweet, I said. It was sweet to hear him purr in my ear. At night, sometimes he slept on my belly and kept me warm. Those are all good things, said my mother. I still count just 9. Yes, I said, but now I have another. Barney's in the ground, and he's helping grow flowers. And you know, I said, that's a pretty nice job for a cat. The first cat I ever had, Pixel. Let's show him. I'll show you too. The first cat I ever had, so long ago that we still had photographs then, was named Noel, N-O-L, Noel the cat. He was this great big cat, and he made these funny chirping sounds like merp, merp when he would talk. This is him. He was sort of the boss. This was a long time ago now. I would carry him around like a baby. Like a little baby. And when he was very old, he would sit on my chest every night and purr before he went to sleep. Noel died a few years ago now, so he never met Pixel, but Noel taught me how to be a cat dad. And when I play with Pixel, when I've been helping him get used to living in the house with humans these last 2 weeks, because he's been in the alley all the way until 2 weeks ago, when I carry him around like a baby, well, that's Noel who taught me how to do all those things. It's a pretty good job for a cat. When we lose the people that we love, just like when we lose the pets we love, why should we like it that they're gone? Of course we don't like it. And there are parts of them still alive in us. Things that they've given us in our living that we pass on forward. Just like Barney helped grow the flowers, just like Noel Cat helps Pixel through me. Pixel, you've been a very patient cat. Is there anything else that you'd like to say before we go?